This whole place is a massive assault on the senses. Are we there yet? Yeah, got it.
Hi everybody and welcome to another episode of The Birders Show. As always, if you enjoy this video, please do remember to like, subscribe, comment and check out the links in the description for our social media channels, our Patreon, and if you want to look as stylish as Diego over here, you can take a look at our merchandise links as well in the same description.
The Birders Show is in the house, man.
The Birders Show is in the house. It's not too shabby.
It's not too shabby, dude. Look at that. I like it.
You look good. Nice thread. For the second episode of our Valle del Cauca special, we are down in the Cali area. We've come down to do some urban birding, explore the tropical dry forest, the Cauca River Valley. We're going to be having some fun activities in the city of Cali as well. We're going to be doing some non-birding activities.
Are we? Really?
We are. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
You don't know about all of them, but some of them are going to be... I think you'll enjoy some, maybe not so much.
I'm in for everything. Not only birding.
And of course, thanks to our partners at Kowa Sporting Optics, we have some more surprises to give out in our quest to make birding more accessible to people around the world. So, Diego, I mean, yeah, let's get going, man.
Bring me some lifers. You know the bridge on that corner. Oh yeah.
So, our birding journey for this episode started in urban Cali, and we should probably start off by explaining to people why we chose to come birding in Cali and the surrounding area.
Oh, I mean, I say it's just the best urban birding that you can have. Cali is one of these, medium elevation cities, not too high, not too low, where, the river that flows by it, through it, it has a lot of good vegetation, a lot of good species, and it's like easy birding for everyone. Yellow warbler.
Migratory yellow warbler in this tree right here. I mean, it just goes to show the importance of these urban green spaces. That bird has migrated all the way down from North America and it's here finding food, finding shelter right in the middle of the city. I mean, we're surrounded by traffic, by people. This is kind of urban birding at its very best. And while we were in Cali, of course, as well as the urban birding, we also had to have some kind of typical Caleño experiences. We also wanted to check out some of the local cultural gastronomic highlights. Cali's a really famous city for music and particularly for gastronomy. It's connected with the Andes, the Pacific coast. There's a real mixture of different gastronomy here, and fruits as well. Fruit like this borojo, which is a really unusual fruit, kind of traditional to the Pacific region. They say it's an aphrodisiac. We're going to try the juice of it later. This is a borojo fruit. That's what they say. They say, but to be fair, a lot of stuff here they say is an aphrodisiac.
I'm just hearing something not aphrodisiac, very mild, granadilla. This is cool passion fruit.
Yeah. You can't really come to a city like Cali with this incredible kind of mixture of cultures. This place is like a synthesis of all the different cultures in the region. And it's kind of cool because it's almost like a human version of why the birding here is so good, right? Like a mix of different locations for birding. It's like a mixed flock.
Like a mixed flock. You gotta wonder yourself how alive is one of these plazas de mercado when the bees are still pollinating the plants are here,
I think there's also a whole bunch of restaurants serving typical dishes. So we've had some little starters, maranitos, alborrajas. So yeah, we're going to tuck in and enjoy a really typical lunch. And we're going to be pretty heavy and full of food, but such is life on the Birders Show. Good. And the thing about the food was it was delicious, but it was almost a problem because I was almost a little bit too tired to do the next thing that we did. Because again, you cannot come to Cali and not do something related to salsa. Salsa is the music of this city. Some say Cali is the salsa capital of the world. And if you're in the salsa capital of the world, you have to go to the salsa capital of Cali, which is of course Delirio. Okay, so we're here at Delirio, and it really is a delirious experience. This is the craziest show in town. We just went through. It's kind of a bit trippy, a bit strange.
This whole place is a massive assault on the senses.
Birding is way more relaxing than this. So that you can get to know, people have asked who our videographer Julian is. You're about to see a little snippet of who he is. The music's amazing, the dancers are incredible, so talented, and luckily for us, a few of them have given up a bit of their time to teach us kind of the basic intro steps of salsa. So for episode 2 of our Birder Show special here in Cali, in Valle del Cauca, we decided to come down to the lowland areas of the Cauca River Valley. Here we are just outside the small town of Jamundi, kind of a feeder city of Cali, and we're at the rice fields. This area is a huge producer of rice for companies all over Colombia, but it's also an amazing wetland habitat for a whole bunch of different species. So this birding is a little bit more open country than we've done in the previous and the next episodes of this special.
It's fair to say that most of the cities in Colombia have great birding around, but you know, Cali is being in this flat valley, has all these rice fields and swampy areas. There is still a decent amount of wetlands and rice paddies that are actually very seasonal, where cool birds hang around.
These rice field areas are places that probably 10 years ago I would say almost no one was birding, but one of the nice things about kind of the boom of birding in Colombia is now you've got people out there exploring these areas. And I mean, these wetland flooded rice fields, kind of seasonal like you said, but they're full of amazing birds. I mean, all 3 species of Colombian whistling duck we got the other day.
Common purple gallinules. So, you know, like snail kites all over the place, of course, taking advantage of the good opportunities for feeding there.
Blackbird.
Oriole blackbird, there is this super cool big yellow and black bird with kind of a, you know, mask around the eye, like big eye ring. And there are Janus, you know, east of the Andes birds, but there are like 2 or 3 species here west of the Andes that, you know, have been here in the Valle del Cauca forever. So it's a little weird. No one really knows if they are introduced a long time ago, if it's natural dispersion.
But we came to the Jamundi area for one really special bird, because it's pretty rare that you and I have a shared lifer in Colombia.
Possible lifer, yeah.
We've never had that in Colombia on the Birder Show before. Okay, spotted rail time.
We're here at the rice fields, spotted rail. That is a, I mean, it's a widespread bird, but it's new for Chris and I. It's been flying around, so we're trying to get better views of it. Hopefully on camera for you guys. Whoa. I think this is officially my first lifer on the Birder Show in Colombia, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
In Colombia?
Yeah,
in Caldas?
So, yeah,
in Caldas,
I had 3 in Caldas and you definitely didn't have any, I don't know. This is a little bit shy at first, but actually they've come to the borders. We've had incredible views of that bright greeny yellow bill, the red legs, the really spotted back and body. It's a really beautiful rail, and seeing any rail this well is an absolute treat. And it's the first time Diego and I have had a lifer together in Colombia in a very long time. Very cool. I think this is the most beautiful rail I've ever seen. I can't think of a more beautiful rail I've ever seen. That combination of those really clear spots and those red legs and that greeny yellow bill. I mean, I hoped we would see it today, but I really didn't come with any expectations. You can never expect or plan to see a rail. So to see one this well and to film it, I'm a bit kind of lost for words right now, as you can probably tell. But that's the effect of a really good bird. And then, of course, we couldn't just stop there, because you know that I love this kind of birding. So from Jamundí, we headed back through Cali, and we headed back up north to around where we are now. Buga. Buga is a heritage town of Colombia. It's smack bang in the middle of the Cauca River Valley. And we came here to Osprey Eco Lodge, which, apart from being this really lovely eco lodge on the banks of the river, really perfectly located with good birding, is also kind of a nice story behind the place, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is a little oasis, and it's been also, I would say, the oasis for a local family to train some local guides and some local people. And it's a little bit, as we were talking today, like a bird university going on here.
Talking to Omaira, the owner of Osprey Eco Lodge, some 40 young people from the area,
probably more,
have kind of passed through her birder university here.
Absolutely.
And have fallen in love with birds, learned how to guide, learned how to identify species. And we were met here by two of the products of Omaira's kind of bird training here, two really great young guys, Jonathan and Santiago.
Nosotros hacíamos pistolas de alcohol, nos íbamos a matar pajaritos, torcasitas. Luego llegó un día y Omaira como que nos cambió de canal, porque de pensar en matar, ya nosotros estábamos pensando en conservar. Ella metió esa semillita dentro de nuestro corazón y ahí nosotros comenzamos a regarla.
Esto de pajarear es compartir conocimientos, compartir buenas experiencias y tener unos muy buenos lazos de amistad.
Yo soy una líder comunitaria, trabajamos en la laguna de Sonso hace más de 20 años. Bueno, las aves son importantes pues porque se han vuelto uno de los renglones más importantes de la economía. Se genera ingreso para los intérpretes ambientales, que son los jóvenes que se han preparado, aprendido de aves, aprendido del ecosistema. Y los pescadores también, pues con sus lanchas, con sus canoas, realizan los recorridos a los visitantes.
Como 10 árboles y un árbol ahí.
This area is a really important habitat for tropical dry forest endemic species, Cauca Valley endemic birds. We've seen some stuff already. We've been birding around the lodge gardens. We've had greyish piculet, we've had slate-headed toady flycatcher. We're looking for some other things as well. And the cool thing about this place is that the river here connects just upstream with Sonso Lagoon, which is one of the most important birding areas in the entire Cauca River Valley.
Entonces, ¿nos fuimos o qué?
Nos fuimos.
Vamos, por favor.
Okay, so we just left Osprey Eco Lodge. We're on the Cauca River. It's one of Colombia's biggest, most important rivers. And we're heading down. We're going to see if we can see some birds on the riverbank, on the beaches and the trees perched by the river. And then we're going to zip back up the river to Laguna de Sonso and do some birding in the dry forest and the wetlands there. Diego, as we know from previous episodes, not always the biggest fan of the wetlands and the boats.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. No, I like boats, but you know, I'm being converted into more waders, you know, water bird. Nice. Are we there yet? So yeah, the dry forest in this area and the combination of dry forest and swamps creates this super rich matrix that, you know, to be honest, I've been birding in that road and in the Sonso area before, and probably today was my best birding morning in Sonso, to be honest.
We had a lot of luck, and we should say for people watching, one of the reasons that people come to this area is, well, obviously the wealth of birds and the diversity, but
some endemics also
endemic
in the area,
species,
you know.
right?
Then we got apical flycatcher.
Yeah,
that is, you know,
another really good one.
Yeah, absolutely, like a dry forest endemics, you know, of Colombia.
Some birds that seem kind of widespread but are actually near endemic, like the spectacled parrotlets, which were everywhere.
Yeah. We bought it. I mean, this bird shared with Panama, and of course with Venezuela a little bit more, but probably 80-something% of its range is in Colombia.
And this has got to be one of the best places to see it in the world, right? There's so many of them. And of course, I spotted a little mud flat in the corner and I kind of had to drag you over there.
Not the king.
Some of that birding that I like that you're not so keen on, right?
Waders, of course.
Waders, yeah. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to check out those waders is because as much as I love waders and I love that kind of birding. Here in Sonso and this whole area is a really important stop-off point for migratory species. It's a real hotspot, and we're in that time of year. It's October, these birds are passing through, and I had a sneaking suspicion that if I really scoped out this large group of Calidris sandpipers on this mudflat, that I might be onto something special. And was very excited to see white-rumped sandpiper, a lifer for me.
Flew off and show you a little
Flew off and showed me that white rump. Super exciting for me. Just the reward of picking through those flocks of waders and finding that little treasure is what I really love. Super exciting.
Congratulations, mate.
Cheers.
Not
nice.
not too shabby.
Not too shabby. That's Diego's catchphrase. Man.
So we are right now in the famous Sonso Lagoon, a beautiful viewing point over this, vast wetland. We have some ibis, and this is one of those areas that, is being conserved. It's a protected area in between the Western Andes and the Central Andes. There's the Cauca River Valley, and the local authorities even work deep on keeping the place clean of the floating vegetation. This is one of those areas that is worth visiting. This is one of the perfect infrastructures to, scan for water birds and, probably spark a little bit my, my love for waders and stuff like that,
And another thing that's a strange kind of feature of Sonso that we've remarked upon today is the incredible wealth of nocturnal birds that you can see there by day, roosting by daylight. I mean, we had 3 or 4 tropical screech owls by day.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 nighthawks, lesser and common nighthawks on sort of thick horizontal branches, and the real star of the show.
So a place with so many individuals of these amazing birds are the potus. We've seen probably around 10 individuals of common potu. And one of the cool things of coming to a place like Sonso is that you can observe and watch behavior.
Common potus are kind of super strange birds, and you were telling me some really interesting facts about common potus today.
I mean, today when you have the chance to see common potus in these numbers, you can study them. So we have the scope. You could see the eyelids of potus are not flat, are not straight. On the edge, they have this couple of notches, and this thing is just to help them to see when they have closed eyes.
So when their eyes are closed,
They
they're not
can
fully
anyway see a little bit through them.
Wow.
One of the cool things about potus is that the camouflage that they have is absolutely, unbeatable. We found already a potu with a chick, and potus are these mythical birds, hard to find in the day, but they will be almost always exclusively, sitting on top of branches. And that's because they nest on the top of broken branches. I always love that fact, when you can mix a little bit of education with birding and, having the chances and the privilege of being on good habitat, good places like, Osprey Eco Lodge, is that you can learn a little bit more about your birds, not only ticking them on your checklist,
We briefly touched upon the work that Almeida, who owns Osprey Eco Lodge, did earlier with these young guides who accompany us to Sonso, but we couldn't leave without leaving something behind for her, because, I mean, we've talked about this on the show before, one of our missions is to make birding more accessible to people around the world, to help people out who are passionate about birds. And Almeida has made that her life's mission to a point that kind of puts us to shame. She's put 40 odd of these kids through her birding university, and we wanted to help her out. Thanks to our partners at Kowa, we have the tools to do that.
Omar, te iba a preguntar, yo nos pregunté antes, como cuántos jóvenes niños has como ayudado en este tema del grupo, de los niños y todo.
Pues ahorita hay 14, pero pues como han sido como relevo generacional,
por esto?
se han pasado varios.
En todos esos años que tú llevas, ¿qué? 30, 40 pelados han sido tus bendecidos.
Sí, por ahí sí.
Porque nos gustaría que tú fueras como la guardiana, no de todos esos pelados, sino también de estos binoculares.
Ay, súper.
¿No te choca la idea?
Gracias.
Con mucho gusto.
Gracias.
No, pues
por todo el trabajo.
To be honest, that was the nicest way we could have possibly ended episode 2, I think, of our Valle del Cauca special. That was the last thing we did here was gift Omaira those binoculars, do a little bit of birding with her around the lodge, enjoyed
Yeah.
some nice views of those birds.
Yeah.
Had a great dinner, and you know we're going to go and sleep in floating beds and floating rooms on the Cauca River. And
Absolutely. You know, enjoying beautiful habitat by the river, and what the local family is doing here is just absolutely crazy. I mean, yeah, it's totally worth.
these are the places you want to support when you go birding.
No better place to leave your money than a local run family thing like this.
Absolutely. No, it's been great, and you know, I can't wait for the next episode. We're going to another
One of
very
the
special
one of the
region in Valle
areas
del
that we
Cauca.
both do like.
Oh, man, this next area is very exciting.
Yeah.
Don't miss that episode. That's going to be coming up. And of course, if you've enjoyed this episode and you want to see more stuff from the Birders Show, please do, as always, like, subscribe, put a comment, support us on Patreon, check out the social media links below, and do tune in for the next episode of the Birders Show. Diego, it's
Stay
been an
tuned.
absolute pleasure.
Stay tuned with our merchandise,
Don't forget to get a t-shirt as well.
and see you in the lowlands.
Nice, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, got it. Bring one.